Galina, may I ask you a question? It's a little bit off topic, but it's just related to our class. Is there any news regarding those videos that we ask you to have access longer than 90 days and to have just regular kind of protected links?
No, you will have access through them the same way through Confluence, but it will be unlimited for by request. By request. Yes.
Okay, I have this request already.
Okay, sure. I will let them know.
And what about Jira access? It's also the same?
I don't think that you will need it like lifetime.
I don't want Confluence, honestly.
Confluence is a different thing. So you need this for your own references, right? But Jira projects will be updated and cleaned. So for the 3 months, I guarantee that nobody will touch your Jira access. But maybe later, new groups will come and we will create. We just cannot afford having hundreds of students, right, having access. And our database administrator, our systems administrator, he removes some users from there. So,
but Confluence, we can download documents from there. But what about videos? So, like, I asked for access, so you will provide.
Right. Then again, by request, you will have access to Confluence, but not to Jira projects.
Okay, but for video, I will have access, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Excuse me, Galina, about this question. I was asking the Michael Partnov, face to face on the Skype. He told me, I was asking him how much for the Jira. He said $2-3 for each of you. So, I mean, if we have like 20 people in the bootcamp, it's about like $20 or maybe $40 just for our bootcamp.
I don't get this calculation in financial calculation. What do you mean, $2 by person?
$2 per year for Jira. Like if I'm a person, Dmitry is a person, and we have another 18 persons in our bootcamp. So it's not a big
Okay, but we have
so I
a lot of other students who are using Jira, and with every batch of our students, we get new and new Jira users.
No, I mean, technically, in the bootcamp we really use it, but Michael has like 300-400 people who just technically don't really use it. That was the question.
So, and what is your request in this connection?
I'm ready to pay this $2 for Jira.
It's not the matter of payment. It's the matter of managing this.
Just really important.
The project is temporary, right? And you are a part of this project that I'm working with, and in some time there will be a new project. So what is the purpose for you to use it all the time? You know how to deal with that, right? You know how to create bug, how use the X-ray plugin to create test cases, how to generate reports. So 3 months is enough for you to practice, and then you will go to your workplace and use real projects in real Jira.
Unfortunately, I'm not so good in Jira as you. That's why I need it.
I really care about video, and it is. I even can share right now the way how to download them, even from this protected.
Okay,
stuff.
We have some more important stuff, right? Today to discuss, and I'd rather go through reviewing our home exercises and taking some new material with Java challenges. Okay, let's do that first. Okay, who is willing to share your solutions on homework, guys? I know that Dmitry have all the answers ready. Maybe you will share your screen and show us.
I can. Let me just...
Okay, let's do it.
Let me open my second Windows machine. Not open, but connect to conference. General, okay. connecting now. Okay, sharing screen just in a second.
Now we see your second machine, but don't see your screen yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's frozen for a second for now. I don't know. Okay, now it's unfrozen.
Can I share mine?
Absolutely, let's do
Sure,
it.
go ahead.
Go ahead. And let's go to JavaCoding features and look into your first. I convert 1 foot to centimeters.
Leap year I did first, and then
Okay, I think the first one is easier, right?
About the leap year.
About the converter.
I actually I would like to run this and open.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I have a question concerning this exercise. How we can enter not integers but doubles?
Okay, doubles, we can define the data type. And you see you have integers and you gave it name foot. But how do you calculation of foot into centimeters? You do not do math, I guess.
That's what I said. I know I did it wrong, so I wanted to.
What do we need to add here?
Double, foot.
Right.
Formula here at least, right?
Right. We need some calculation. So we need to create a new variable. Alessia, would you please add, not here, would you please add 1 space after this, not here,
Not here.
Go back. So we need inside those curly braces, we need 1 more space after.
Okay.
Enter here and create a new variable in it, maybe double, right? Double, and give it a name, centimeters or something. Okay, and it will be equal to our foot, ft, you have the name of this variable, multiplied by 30.48. Okay, good. And now, what will be your result? Foot equals to how many centimeters? SCM, right? So you need to break your string, foot equals to, and instead of this hard-coded value, you will put the variable, no, don't do it.
Oh.
Control Z, okay? And instead of 3048, just highlight 3048, okay? You will put CM, and now you need to do the concatenation. So how do we do concatenation? After 2, okay, after two, you put double quotes, plus, and after CM you do plus, and open double quotes. And here we go. But what is wrong here? You see, you have curvy line next to 30, 40, 48. It asks to put a semicolon, closing semicolon here. Semicolon. Good. Now we're good. And you can
so the same I have to do here.
The same you have to do the calculation.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of hard coding the 370 something liters, right, you will put the actual value and you will be able to change the value. So what do you have in your JavaCoding that feature? You put 1 foot, and if you multiply by 10, or you can put 3, so the system will do the math for you. Okay?
Okay, I got it.
You can run it.
Mm-hmm.
So can we enter here double, not integer?
Say again.
How can we,
No. You definitely can put it, and then you will have to put 3.0, and the system will automatically define this value, right? According to this data type. So, but this will be a new step. So if you change 3 to 3.0, actually it's the same, but you will have to write a new step where the argument, right, will have a different data type in the method signature.
Galina, but we can also do it by providing other kind of formula. Is it correct or no?
What kind of formula?
Actually, I'm not sure. Like, I was playing with it. That's how I started. I was kind of declaring double foots and integer centimeters. And then I was concatenating this formula. And it was giving result, but I wasn't like sure if it's correct. So as I realized, it can work by different ways, because I check in the internet a lot of information and a lot of people are doing it like
absolutely. And I don't know which one is correct, right? You definitely make a decision, and every
task can just like flag
can have many solutions, many ways, and any script can have many variants, and maybe all of them will be correct.
Thank you, Galina.
Good. And Dmitry, are you ready to share your solution now?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Share screen. Oh boy, where is it? So, can you see it? Yeah, you can. Right, which one are we doing now?
So we did this conversion. Let's look into converting Celsius to Fahrenheit, because it is more complicated.
Can I convert Celsius to Fahrenheit? Okay. So I don't know. This is what I have. So I declare a double variable.
It is easy to check, because if we have 0, then it will be 32. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So I declare
now we can change the values in our Java.
Yeah, of course we can. Yeah, I played around. You see, I this is what we have here in Florida. So I was like, okay, it's 86. So 0, yes, 0 will be 32, and we will check it. Hopefully. Okay, there it is.
That's correct.
And the rest I can, you can play.
Okay, and now let's look into the leap year.
Okay.
Method.
The leap year. So this is a simple verification of the leap year. When I googled it, there was some crazy one when they also did the what is it? some two additional steps there were. It should be divisible by 100 without remainder, and one more there was. So I did the simple one.
Which is workable, right?
Yeah, it is workable. So we can check what year we will check. Let's check current year. What is it, 2021, just in case no one knows what it is. Okay, it's not a leap year. And 2024 will it be a leap year? I think so. Yeah. Okay.
Nice. And final, check the grades.
Check the grades. So yes.
We have several conditional statements.
Yeah. So.
And we check every one of those.
So if it's higher than more or equals to 90, then it's A. Else.
And how will you specify the limits of this interval? It is not probably enough. You need to add one more condition, end.
Will it be in the end or in the beginning, or doesn't matter?
No, my point is that you probably need to identify the limits of the interval.
Yeah, you're
if
right.
Grade is equal or greater than 80, but at the same time, right, it is less or equal than 98. You always have to put the interval here.
So you mean if I put some borderline numbers, it will not work?
But it would be more accurate if you indicate this.
Okay, so
you will put end, and it will be double ampersand. It is not end like that end.
I see what you mean. Yeah. That's what just Victor told us.
Right. And you provide the upper limit of this interval.
Grade is what, in second case, it's...
It will be 98.
Will it be for this one, maybe 98?
It will be less or equal than 98. Less
for the grade B?
Yeah, less or equal than 98.
Okay. Well,
it is still greater, less or equal than 98.
98.
And you will have to update the rest of the...
So here it will be what, 88, 78?
Not 98, but 89. 89.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So here, less than 79. Probably just copy pasted this. Less than equals 69. So and basically when it's so in the first one
this
we
one
don't have
will be less or equal than 100, right?
Yeah, okay. Second grade is 100. So and if it's anything else,
then you pass with grade F. Okay.
Yeah. So this is, I don't know.
Probably less than 59. But what if we go out of the range? Then probably
I never tried it.
will be your else. This is out of range. I would say that.
So you mean another else?
If less than the allowed limit, if less than 59, then you pass with grade F. But if you put 150, or you put minus or something else, right? Then you will say that this is out of range. This will be else condition.
Well, something like this.
And you have to add one more, what's else?
Yeah, it doesn't like something here. One more?
And if you didn't put this less than 59, else if less than 59.
Okay.
Else if you open and close, no. Круглые скобки, else.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Else if the array
less than 59.
less than 59.
And now it is good.
Okay. Should I run it? So 59, let's start with 9. Ooh, what am I doing? 91.
Something is wrong. You see, you have Java step definitions error. Probably extra or not missing. Delete this one. Now it is good.
Okay, it gives A or what else? Shall we, like we're doing boundary condition.
I think it is enough. You can check the else condition 101.
Okay.
Would it be possible to see one more time that exercise about years? Dima, could you show it, please?
This one?
Second.
About years?
Yeah, could you try 2000 year? What it will show?
Year 2000, okay, let's try.
It's supposed to be leap.
Well, it's divisible by 4 without a remainder, yeah, it will be leap.
It's supposed to be leap.
Yeah.
It will give you. Okay, what about 2100?
Will also leap, I think.
No.
No?
What should? No, it's mistake here. Yeah, because 21. Yeah, it is a formula here. I can put it's in Python, but the idea because it should be divided by 4 and 0 at the end, or divided by 100 not equal to 0. Or divided by 400.
That's Google was saying.
I'll show now correct Python code. It's much more simple.
I found it too, Dmitry. But I couldn't implement it. For some reason I couldn't implement it, so I went to the simple, like, first
but it's just, I don't know Java, but it's just one more условие получается. То есть мы используем and и потом or.
Вот здесь вот, да?
Вот я сейчас бросил. Вот, try this.
Сейчас я посмотрю. Вот, но это Python, да?
Ну да, но идея та же самая.
Java is the same.
Идея та же самая. Такая тут по-русски написано, а ты изменишь.
Year. Okay, I'll do it later. Later.
It's good exercise. I remember I spent a lot of time with it, but yeah, it works. So there are two, because you need to understand priority, and it means that два условия должно быть одновременно соблюдено, что деление на 4 в остатке 0 и деление на 100 не равно нулю, то есть нечетное. Или деление на 400 остатки 0, и тогда у нас высокосное, все остальные обычные.
No, you first use exclamation mark and then
like this?
0.
And then one more, right? And division by 400.
Or там не and получается.
Or is double pipeline.
No. I was actually surprised when I saw this in Java. I mean, when I Googled it and saw this Java code, I didn't recognize those two pipelines. So I decided not to even touch it.
Равно нулю.
Вот
это высокосно. Да, вот try now 2100.
Okay. Ну да, работает.
А 2000?
Ой.
Это много.
Leap.
А Ну и так далее. То есть тут
Окей. Ну да. Не так все сложно оказалось. Я тут думал просто... I thought that we would need to write several if, like nested ifs, you know, like here. And this kind of sort of made me reluctant.
Alina, may I share my screen?
Sure.
Okay, I'll stop mine.
Thank you, Dmitry.
Ага.
And thank you, Dmitry.
Можете желание загадать.
Well, I can show my decisions, but actually I have a question about these doubles. Well, I can start with my decision. I have another decision. Probably, well, it seems to me that it's a bit shorter and more obvious. What about the year? This is my decision. So I just started with year 2020 because I know that this is a leap year. So I just declared integer year, and if the difference between year and 2020 divided by 4
Equals 0.
Equals
so no
0?
remainder.
Yeah, so this is a leap. And if year is 2020, it's also a leap. And else, it's not a leap. That's it.
Okay, now let's try 2100. The проверочное это самое. If year 21, okay, put instead of 0 here, 2100. And try to run it. It's supposed to be not a leap year. And you have year is leap. So your solution is not accurate.
It should be leap.
Is it? We have just proved that.
No, we just proved it. No. Высокосный, когда в остатке от 4 0 и одновременно остаток от 100 не равняется нули, а 21:00 остаток от 100 как раз 0 получается, понимаешь? А у нас условие, что одновременно и остаток от 4 должен быть, ничего не остается, и от 100.
Год 2020 высокосный, предыдущий год 2020, плюс 80 лет. Получается 2100. 80 лет делится на 4, без остатка.
Почему вы взяли 2020 как вообще какой-то эталон?
Just because I know that 2020...
No. There is a rule. If the year divided by 4 gives your remainder 0, right, then it is a leap year. So you should go from that part.
Yeah, but
it
works
2020.
So, year 2100 can be divided on 4 without remainder.
Андрюша, не спорь с судьей, это я про учителя. Вон я тебе ссылку скинул, почитай на эту тему.
Так, подожди, 2100 год, это у нас лип или не лип?
Ну, вон ссылка.
Нет, 2100 не лип, not лип.
Так он же делится на 4 без остатка.
Надо на 100 еще одновременно.
На 100 должно быть
остаток не равен нулю. С остатком.
То есть с остатком.
А зачем нам делить на 100?
Одновременно условие такое.
3 условия, чтобы понять, високосный год или нет, нужно не только на 4 поделить, но еще и на 100 и на 400.
А зачем?
И все там должно совпасть. Ну, такая математика всего этого.
То есть у нас там Там нет несколько условий, понимаешь?
Там целая наука.
Деление на 4 это самый простой способ, но он не всегда стопроцентно правильный.
Это мы привыкли так просто, да?
Да, чтобы все покрыть во всех веках, да, нам нужно эти 3 условия одновременно или. Там есть одно «и», а второе «или». Вот вам есть ссылка, почитайте, пожалуйста.
Ну, там как раз хорошо по-английски написано. The rule is that if the year is divisible by 100 and not divisible by 400, leap year is skipped. Понимаешь, 2100 не делится у нас на 400.
Окей. Просто не знал этих там все правил, но только на 4. Окей. Next my question. I cannot use not integer here because if I create...
Because you declared it as integer. Yes, you cannot use
I haven't yet I just created this row, create step definition. Here we see that we have like a string, like an arrow, or what it is.
Are you sure that this is the correct step? Because show me the Java coding. You have it should be a double, right? And you see it is a double when you navigate. You are pointing to the wrong step. You see, definitions, I convert double Celsius. It's supposed to be double, and you put integer inside because you put those integers yourself. It's supposed to be double.
Yeah. You mean here to change it?
Here you do it yourself. It's supposed to be double.
Yeah, but why do we have 2 integers or 2 doubles?
I don't know. Can you delete the step? Can you delete the step? Delete it. Everything should be deleted and put one more. Okay, now we're good. Go and do it one more time. Create a new step definition. Create a step definition in this file. Okay. I have no idea because it's supposed to be a double.
So we can manually write double and delete one element.
Right. Okay, guys, we have to move on.
Elena, I have one more super silly but super simple question. Sometimes when we print else or else if, it just system doesn't accept it. Unfortunately, I don't have example now, everything run through, but do you have any idea why is it happening? Everything is like printed correctly, but sometimes it just like marked by red marker.
It may be for different reasons. You can forget to put the semicolon, or accidentally you deleted or added an extra curly brace. So, but you can easily find, if you see that you have this red underline, red curly underline, right? On the right side, let me share my screen.
It has nothing to do with like,
okay, let me put it here, something I will do, right? And immediately see it. And on the right side, I will also see this hint. And you see, you will have this tooltip with the prompt that you have to add the semicolon. And the line where it is needed will be highlighted.
Okay, I will try to make screenshot next time in case. Thank you, Olga.
Because I don't get it. You say it is related with else if or what?
Oh, I'm sorry, Galina. I called you Olga, I'm sorry. Yes, it's related with else if, and sometimes it's like on this thread bulb, it's written that you have to change class or variable or something like that, and it's like totally confusing all scenario. But it's okay. I will try to catch it again.
Okay, let's do it. All right, guys. So we now know how to work with conditions, right? Conditional clauses and statements, and how this Boolean works here for checking whether this condition is true or false. We also can use the switch, and switch is very useful when you have more than one or two or three or four conditional clauses, right? Then switch is recommended. So let's create a new scenario, and we will call it scenario switch. Okay, scenario switch. Switch example. What's wrong? Switch. Switch. Oh no. This is our Java 5. And scenario will be switch example. Okay, and given I learn okay, let's do given I print Google. And you immediately see that everything that goes inside the quotes will be shown in blue. It means that this is our variable value. And I don't like it. Print Google URL. Let's change our step so that we can create a new step. Okay? Because we already had this when I print and some text. But we need to work with the switch. So we need a new step. And we will create a new step definition in our Java step definition. And it will be our URL. This is our URL variable name. Okay, now we will use keyword switch. And the value of our switch variable name will be URL. And we will open our curly braces, and here we will be working with different cases. Case 1, start typing, and I give the string name for my case, Google. And then I put column here. And in this case, I will ask the system to print out the URL. SOUT print URL. And what is our URL for Google? Google.com. Okay, and okay, copy. What's wrong? Google search. Okay, Google. This one. We copy it and add it to our script. Okay, but what if we want some other value of our URL variable name?
We can just add it.
We can add more, right? But we definitely need to specify them in our methods here. Okay, but we need to finish this case with a keyword break. And we will write a new case. And it should be indented properly, right? Case, for example, Yahoo, right? Same here. And we will use the same lines of code for printing out Yahoo, but here we will change the string for Yahoo. And some other sites that we can think of, right? We can open what other sites we have in our predefined feature. Wiki, right? We can add Wiki, and we can add a lot of other sites that URL we have. Okay, in order to get there, I will put case wiki. And again, print this and break in order to be able to come out of this condition. Actually, it's the same, right? Because while doing this check, the system will go through the first one, right? And if it is true, it will be printed out. If it is false, it will break out of this case and go to the next one. It will check whether this condition, right, the value of this variable is true. Then this line will be printed out. If it is false, it will break out of this case and go to the next one. So we can have 10, 12. So this is the way usually when we have multiple variable values, then this one is recommended rather than using if-else conditions. It saves a lot of your effort. And now, what if we don't have anything? If we provide something that is not defined in our switch? Default, right. So we have default case. Start typing D and it will be selected here as default. And we will just print something that this site is not supported. This site is not supported. Okay, and now we can check it out running this from our feature. So it was printed out. Let's change the value for wiki and run it one more time. It is working. And if I put Bing, and we can also add something, this site, right? And we can put the value of this site is not supported. Then we will see which site is not supported. Okay, let's run it. The site Bing is not supported. Okay, so I will give you a home assignment to practice with creating the switch as well. Any questions? Do you need more time?
I have a question, Galina. Sorry, from one hand, it's maybe not correct to ask it because I haven't been yesterday and don't know Java. On the other hand, in Python, if I don't mistake, you can use break with if, elif. So is it possible to run it just with if, elif statement and break without case, or it's only with case?
So when we use if and else if, right, we don't have breaks. We have breaks with switch.
And switch, what it means in this case?
This is the another way, right, to check the equivalence of our variables and to compare some values and provide the result. For example, good example, when you need to get to some site, to some web page, you will probably, and you have to open certain page in your test case, instead of using else if, because you may have several, more than 3 or 4 applications that will be open, and you can append, you can add those web pages with different URLs, and your application will open them. No matter in which file you will create them. You can create this function or method in one file, right, to open the page. And you will add more and more URLs so that your test will open them.
So break is just straightforward, doesn't work with if or elif in Java, because on Python it works straightforward.
No, we demonstrated that we don't need this break in else if, because it will check the first condition. If it is not true, right? If it is false, it will go to the next one until it comes to this else, which works as a default.
I understand in that case, but in this one that you show, if to write code just with if and elif
and without break,
with break, so will it work straightforward without switch? Just go if Google break, if Yahoo break, if Wiki break, else blah blah blah.
No.
No?
Okay. If break, we definitely need to put some statement, some piece of code that would be executed. Here we print system out. Then we will be opening our browser, right, at certain page. So we definitely will put another piece of code here. And if this case is true, then this action will be implemented. This piece of code will be run. If not, it will break out and go to the next one. So this is again the syntax that I don't argue. I just have to learn it. That's it. Any more questions about switch? All right. Then we go to another important concept that we will definitely need, and it will be our practice with arrays. Let's add one more scenario, Java 6, and scenario, we will call it array. Scenario, array. And we will have to create the step given, operate on arrays. And we definitely don't have this step yet. We will add it to our Java step definitions and write the code. So how to initialize an array, guys? And what is the we know that array has to be marked by square brackets, right? We definitely need first to initialize our array, and as everything in Java, we have to declare the data type of our array. And array is a collection of similar objects of the same data type. So we can say that we have integer array, right? We declare our data type integer. Then we denote that this is an array by using square brackets. And we will say that this array has some name. Let's say numbers. But it is not yet, right? So we need to initialize our array. And the value of our array goes inside the curly braces. And here we will just put some random numbers. Maybe 4, 8, that they will be separated by commas. 10, 45, 89, 23. And again, it requires to close this with the semicolon. Okay, so we have array of integers now. And once we declare this, it will be the constant number of elements in the array. We cannot update the number of elements in the array, but we will be able to update the value of the elements in the array.
Elena, and word numbers is the variable, right?
The word numbers is the name. It is not the variable. It is the name of our array.
Okay, it's the name of the array.
Array name.
Okay.
Galina, when you say we cannot change it, do you mean that if you just set it to six numbers, it will be 6,
we
right?
set the length of this array. How many elements? 1, 2, 3,
6.
4, 5, 6. So we cannot change this number.
So if you initially said 6, it will be always 6, right?
Yes. We cannot change the element number, the number of elements. Once we declare this.
But doesn't matter, like if you say there's a 4 or there's a like 45. I mean, the 2 digits inside or 1 digit inside, or it doesn't matter. You just count the amount.
I didn't get your question.
I mean, if digits consist from 2, you know, like 45, there's a 4 and 5, and if it's only 4, it's only 1 digit 4, or it doesn't matter.
We are working with integers, and integers can have
I got you.
Certain number of digits, right? But it should be a whole number. It cannot contain any digits after the decimal point, right? But definitely you can have that big number. So I'm saying that we cannot change the number of elements, but we can change the value. Okay? Let's let it be like this. So this is an example of array of integers. We also can have array of strings. And same way, we can declare the data type. What will it be?
String.
String, when we type capital letter S, it will be selected. Then we do the same. We put square brackets to denote that this is an array. And let's, for example, have the list of cars. The name of my array of strings is cars. And then I use the this operator equal sign to provide the value of my array, and I will put the values. And as usually, all strings go inside their double quotes. Subaru, and they will be separated one from another with commas again. Ford, what else? Mercedes, and you see, if I forget to put the double quotes, IntelliJ will not allow this because this is an array of strings. Okay, and what else? It's supposed to be closed by the semicolon, and we need to continue. Okay, what else? It can be a Jeep, and it can be what? Mustang. Okay, enough. So we can identify or print out, right, the element by using index. And you know that this index will go inside the square brackets. And you also know that the indexes start with which number?
From 0.
From 0. So I want to print out the element with index 2. Which one will it be? From string, from class?
Mercedes.
Okay, let's write the code for that. System print out, and I address to this element, right, by using the array name, cars, and then I will put the index number, and we'll see what it will print out. Okay, it shows Mercedes. Good. And we also can do the same. Can add some description text, right? Element is index 2 will be cars number 2. Or we can print out the first element of the array, right? Which will it be? It will be the first element of the array. What will be the formula? Okay. The first element
Subaru.
And we have to change it for, okay.
0.
And we can also change the value, right? Reassign the value. For example, we want to change Mazda. Ford for Mazda. We can type cars, element 1, because it has index 1, right? Equals now Mazda. And now if we print the first, it will not be the first element, it will be okay. Now let's print it. Actually, element with index 1, right? Element with index 1 will be now okay. And if we do it previously, let's do it here and run it one more time. So first it would be Ford, and when we change the value, it will be a new value. But if we don't know the index of the last element, guys,
We choose -1.
we choose property length of array, right? So let's print out the length, which will give us the number of elements that contained in the array. Okay?
-1 doesn't work in Java, like in Python.
It does, but let's first of all get the number of elements. And you said that it is length. It is not the function here, this array. It is not the function, it's just the property, because it doesn't have the parentheses. Okay. And we can say that the number of elements in the array, here we will add some explanation here, the number of elements in the array. And concatenation sign. Okay, let's run it. So we have 5 elements in the array cars, right? But what if we want to get the last element of the array? And we don't know exact number of the array, which often happens when we deal with the web pages. And it may be dynamic. Today we have, for example, this number of titles on our quizzes page, right? And the next day it may be different number. We can read some questions. Okay. So we will print out the last element, the last element in the array, and we will add cars dot length -1. That's wrong. Copy string concatenation text to the clipboard. Okay.
You have to put in the brackets, no? -1. No.
I don't think so. No. Cars -1. You mean this one? And this one?
Maybe.
Good. We definitely have to put this one into the additional pair of brackets. Okay, let's see. And it goes like 4. Good. So, can you explain why we do this?
We get 4 index. So the last car has an index 4.
Because we start from 0.
From 0, yeah.
We always have to, when we get the last element of the array, we always have to deduct 1. Good.
Yeah. And this is also a reason if you do loop later on, so don't go to the border of the loop. So this is why we need length -1, because we cannot have in this situation index number 5, for example, in our loop. So we have only 4 indexes. Plus 0.
All right, we will practice with that. So what if we want to print out all the elements of the array? What can we use this one, guys?
You need to use for loop.
Let's try and see. So you see that it prints something. But this is the notification that this is the placeholder, right? Like of our array in our memory. So this is the placeholder of our array. But if we want to get the all the elements of the array printed out, then we have to use for loop, as Dmitry just said. Can you help me with creating those? We have 2 variations of for loops. One is easy, which will go through each and every one of the elements of the array. And the second one has more complex structure, but it allows control over your elements. So let's start with simple one for each. And you can start typing 4, and you will have 2 options, for and for each. And if I select for each, we will have this pattern. Opening bracket, right? Closing bracket, and we can type our text or code inside those. And again, we have to declare our data type. What is our data type if we are dealing with our cars string? String, right? We typed string. So before this, you will have to put the cursor here, type string, and then you name and you can provide any name for your element in the array. It can be car, it can be item, or it can be element. So here on the other side of this column, you will give the name of your array. And before this column, you are free to give it a name. It can be car, in the cars, and then you will use this print, and you will type here car. So once you call it, right? So far it is not highlighted, right? It is kind of grayed out, but here, once you indicate it in your statement here, and you use this variable name, then it will not be highlighted. Okay, now let's do it and run it. And we have all the elements of our array, 5 of them, printed on the new line. We can change it a little bit. So instead of printed from the new line, we will print it on one line, right? But we definitely need to put some kind of a delimiter between those, right? So I will use concatenation and space. Let me run it one more time. And then they will be printed on one line, separated by space. Okay, do you need time, guys, to write this code?
No.
Why? Because you have it?
No, because I already did it.
Good. And now then, let's do it for more controlled one.
Can you look at my screen, Galina?
Sure.
Please. Alright, it didn't print in one line. Did I miss something here?
System
You have to
out.
command system out.
System out print ln car. It did print, right? Can you go
It
up
did print,
there?
yeah.
How many elements do you have there?
Same as you. My question is why I didn't print just like yours in one line here.
Print.
You have to command system out print ln.
Oh, okay.
Print ln you have print.
Next one.
No. Comment out this one and run.
Okay. It's good now.
Now it is working.
Thank you.
And now let's do this for, standard for. Okay. When we need to print out all elements using standard for. So it is for again, right? And we will be using the counter. And always the counter will be integer, right? So we have to declare the data type of our counter. It will be integer. And then we will give the name to our counter. It can be any letter, or it can be the word counter. And we need to declare where we want to start with. And we can start from our first element, right? What is the index of our first element?
0.
0. And then we will increase our counter, right? Until it reaches the last element of our array. So it will be greater or equal to cars
plus sign
plus length. Okay? And then we will increment our counter by 1 with every iteration.
Count plus plus.
Okay, and then we will print the elements. Cars. And here it will go inside the index, will go inside the square brackets. Okay, so I will comment out this one and run this for traditional for each. What's wrong? Freeze, expected. Okay, undo. One more time. Array index out of bounds, guys. This is the. Can we go out of bounds? What will be the length here?
No, length minus 1. The
right, length minus 1. True.
Yeah.
And if we use this one, will it work?
No, you said greater, so
Probably not.
Less, right? So with this condition, it will
work.
Right.
Yeah, it will work.
It will work.
But with -1, no, right?
With equal to length, it will not work.
Yeah.
Then if we use equal or less, greater, then definitely we need to envisage this -1. And then it will be working.
Galina, plus on it.
Why you put plus?
Just by mistake, probably.
Of course, by mistake, guys. As I'm saying, I have been teaching since 10 a.m. today.
But maybe easy to put just equal sign in this case without без меньше. What's the reason for to put меньше?
No, because this is a counter. It will.
Ah, yeah, counter. Yeah.
We definitely
right. I forgot.
To have this condition.
Yeah. Because we need to start from the 0. Yeah.
We have to start with 0, and with every iteration,
my fault.
we are going to check and make sure that it will be working. So if we have just this sign, right, then length is not needed. But if we have this equal sign, we definitely have to deduct 1. Okay? And I wanted to show you guys the last thing that I wanted to show you today, how to debug, how to run the test in the debug mode. Because sometimes you definitely need to identify some errors, and this helps. IntelliJ provides this function running your tests in the debug mode. And you can get the insight of the internal operations. So what is going behind the scenes. And you will be able to pause execution and analyze the state of the program and to validate the variables that the system is using and how they are changed line by line. So let me show you how it works. So here I will put the breakpoint on this counter, right? So you click here on this line and you see the red circle here. It means that you put the breakpoint. And then you go to your coding feature, right click, and run debug scenario array. And we wait until the system will pause at the step where we put the breakpoint. Okay, so you see, it is now stopped here. And it shows us the contents of our array cars, all the variables here. And we see that it has the count 1. So we have here the controls that will allow us to step in or step over this first system. So I click here on this. And we get the first element of our array, right? The variable is Subaru. Okay, I will do one more time. So the variable is Subaru and the next will be Mazda. Okay, so I will count them all. So this counts 2 and the variable will be Mercedes, right? Then what? Step over to the next, count 3, and the variable is Jeep. So you
Galina, so basically by this thing which we are doing now, by debugging, we can go more into deep in our code, right?
Correct. And analyze and find the mistakes. So you can definitely work with those loops, or you can put the breakpoint at some place and you will be able to check the fast expression, whether it is correct or not.
But we can do debugging just in that case if scenario was already, if we already run it, right?
If something is not working as expected.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
But here everything worked as expected, so
right.
How will it look if it doesn't work as expected? Like, let's say we mess up something in the code.
Then you will see what is going on. It will show you the number of elements, and not necessarily with this example of running the for loop, but you can put the debug or breakpoint at some other step, and you will be able to see the state. And if, for example, you're working with the browser, right, here you will have, and we will be working with that when we start going back to the browser, right? There will be exact picture that in the browser, right, in the debug mode, where your application was stopped by the breakpoint. And you can analyze what's going on here as well. Okay. So far we are doing debugging with this thread slip, but you can put the breakpoint and stop the execution and see what's going on in the browser and analyze the variables as well. Any more questions, guys?
No.
I
Okay.
just know that
What did you know?
debugging, it could be very helpful when it is a complicated code. The debugging stuff, like that you showed right now, it's very helpful when it's complicated code and you cannot find mistake. And it is a great online tool. It's called Python Tutor, where you can use Python, where you can Java, JavaScript,
Any programming language, definitely.
Yeah,
but
and
our code will be very simple, and it definitely will be needed for programmers to identify some errors in their code.
That one is beautifully visual, because you can literally see how your, for example, this index is going through all this array, and you can see how many iterations. It's if you want, I can put a link on the chat, because you can work with any languages, basically, like Java, JavaScript, Python.
If you can, it would be great. Thanks.
Yeah, sure. You just select correct language, so don't worry that this says Python.
Okay, so guys, let's go through our homework that I will offer to you, and we will finish today's class if you don't mind. So I will ask you to create a switch. One switch, 1 second, what is that? Where you will have to do the calculations. So you need to find the cost of some products per pound. Okay? And print, so they will be cost per 1 pound for a certain product, and you will have to do the calculation in the switch. So it will be like this. Scenario. You can give it any name, right? But it will be switch. And you need to find the cost of certain number of pounds for certain number of product. And you will provide any cost per pound, but the system will be able to calculate. So your case, right, will contain, okay, let me create the step definition. And it will have 2 arguments, right? So first will be, actually, let's do with simple things. Integer or double you can add. Cost is definitely 12 pounds. Okay, pounds. Pounds is the measure. Okay, so it will be pound. What is the name for pound? Pound?
LBC.
LB.
LB.
Okay. LB. And the product name will be product or something. LB. Let it be fruit or any other product. Okay, product. And then you will have the case, switch product, right? Case grapefruit we have, right? We put this grapefruit here. And you have price per product, and it can be double, right? Double price per pound. For example, 120. And then you will print the cost. And it can be cost of your product, right? And you can put the name of the product here, and you will calculate, right? And you have this LB multiplied by the price. And it will be calculated and printed out. And don't forget to add the break. And you can have several products. Don't forget to do the default, right? Saying that this product is not available in the store or something. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And a couple of exercises with arrays and doing some loops and printing out the results. Okay?
Thank you, Galina.
Welcome, guys. So tomorrow we will not have our regular class, so you will have some time to complete your exercises, to watch the next video, and to do some self work, googling out some stuff, right? Repeating important information that Victor shared with us today. So if you need my help, ping me. I will be here.
Galina, what time better to ask you the same regular hours like we have class, because I definitely will have questions.
Okay, I will be available at the regular time, but I will also monitor my email, and I will be working on some tasks that I have from school also, like a regular day, but I will be available for your questions.
Thank you so much. Short question. How long is the automation Python class?
I don't know about Python exactly, but I know for Java, it is the 20 sessions, 2 times a week. So 10,
how many hours?
10 weeks.
10 weeks. 10 weeks. And how many hours per day?
Like regularly, it's usually evening hours because they are conducted by people who are working in the industry. And they last for 2.5 hours, 3 hours. I don't know exactly how long they. Because when they were conducted in at school, like on the premises, it was from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. with some breaks. But it is difficult to acquire all the information like online through Zoom. I don't know how they're doing this now.
But is teacher available between sessions for automation class?
I'm not sure whether they will be able to. Of course, they will communicate with you. They will provide some feedback. But as I said, they are very busy people who are working in industry. So they have limited time for answering the questions. But during regular hours when you are working with them, they will be answering all your questions, and they will probably have some people helping them for checking the homework from you guys. Okay, any more questions?
Galina, I need your help, but I think after you stop recording or...
Okay, I will stop recording and send the link.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Galina and Victor. Thank you.
Thank you.